Caitlin Clark just landed another incredible endorsement. This time it's with Stanley Cups. God.
Caitlin Clark just made headlines once more.
Stanley this time.
Yes, Clark's new contract caused sales of the cup brand that your mom, your aunt, and every college student are crazy about to soar. Even though she isn't currently playing, her influence is so great that merchandise is flying off the shelves. In your opinion, is Caitlin's Stanley deal truly more significant than some of her basketball achievements? Let's not mince words. Stanley, the same Stanley that essentially controls the cup business, signs Caitlin Clark. And now, sales have skyrocketed. This is not merely a small, informal recommendation. There is a full cultural crossover here. These days, Clark sells more than just trainers and shirts. She is a hydration salesperson. She sells lifestyle. And you know what? It is being devoured by fans. This is how it is set up. Stanley was already on the move. These cups turned into a mark of prestige. To obtain the rare pastel drop, people waited in queue at Target. Online resale prices for cups not trainers or handbags were in the triple digits. The brand partnership was bound to blow up when you put in Caitlin Clark, the most marketable athlete in women's sports. The photo session ended. Those Stanley Cups in fiery colors are held by Clark. Nike continues to perspire while grinning as if she knew the internet was going to melt. Social media went crazy right away. Fans were immediately inquiring as to when they might purchase her colorway as screenshots went viral and TikToks went viral. Resale groups were thriving even before the cups were formally launched. That is dominance, not hype. And let's be honest, there's more to this than Clark selling cups. This is her showing off her basketball skills outside. This demonstrates that she has sway over lifestyle markets.
Consider it.
Gatorade, sports, fashion, Wilson Sports, and Nike Sports.
But that's mainstream, Stanley.
That includes office workers, students, and mothers. People who don't watch the WNBA at all will nonetheless purchase a Stanley bearing the Clark brand because it's in style.
Crossover power is that.
Naturally, the detractors now rushed in. Why is she receiving so many deals? She is not deserving. It's only a cup. The same worn-out sound. The issue for the detractors, however, is this. Sales receipts are honest. Stanley is selling more goods. Shops are running out of inventory. And the attachment of Caitlin Clark's face is the only thing that has changed. The cash register tells you otherwise, no matter how much you shout overhyped.
Still maintaining to land deals is, legendary. And not to mention, she still got to deal with Gatorade as well. So for her to land this Stanley deal is just, I know a lot of people talk about her agent not being there for her agent doing all these things. I got to give it to her agent, bro. Now, granted, would Caitlin Clark be getting these deals if she didn't have her agent? Probably. But she still got to give we still got to give some credit to the agent. This is a nice cup here. I don't think I ever seen one like that. This is legendary right here. And Caitlin looks super happy to have this deal as well.
Now, let's quantify it. Stanley's yearly sales were already in the billions. But according to recent statistics, site traffic increased by double digits after the release of Clark's collaboration teasers. Her queue saw a spike in pre-orders. Fans believed Clark's collection would be limited as well, and they didn't want to miss out. So some businesses couldn't even maintain generic Stanley stock on shelves. The Taylor Swift impact is that everything related goes into overdrive. That's when the snark starts. Consider yourself among the skeptics who claimed Clark was overhyped only to see her sell water bottles more quickly than an NBA player sells sneakers. It's hilarious. These folks continue to wager against her. She is a movement every time she demonstrates that she is more than just an athlete. Now let's discuss marketing genius. Clark's initials weren't just slapped onto a cup by Stanley. She received a collection from them. 5 models. The traditional cup, the tumbler, the jug, the water bottle, and even a travel-friendly variant. And the hues, subtle gray, fever, navy, and Iowa gold. They seem to have plotted her whole career in Pannoni. No fans were purchasing one. To collect, they were purchasing all 5. That's deliberate. That isn't a recommendation. It's a complete rollout. Furthermore, Clark's appearance in the promo wasn't forced or stiff. She appeared at ease as she held a cup, laughed, and posed as if it were any other day. That is important. Because it's not their lane, some athletes appear uncomfortable in lifestyle advertisements.
Clark.
She blends in seamlessly. Brands continue to queue because of this. She is iconic enough to cause a frenzy, yet relatable enough for regular consumers. The kicker is this. She was hurt while doing all of this.
Consider that.
For half of the season, she hasn't even been on the floor. Her endorsement train, however, never slowed. Highlights are necessary for most athletes to remain relevant. All Clark needs is a picture and a press release. That is the strength of the brand. It indicates she's bigger than the box score, which is why the haters detest it. Let's compare now. While other WNBA players also have endorsement deals, none of them are promoting lifestyle goods on this level. A Wilson is wearing her Nike trainer. Sabrina Ionescu has a line of her own. Angel Reese has a contract with Reebok. Fantastic actions. Are they, however, marketing $40 cups to Boston accountants and Iowa soccer moms?
No.
She is the owner of Clark's Lane. The funniest aspect is that people still accuse these cups of being a scam, even though they retail for $40 to $60. Really? Without blinking, you'll spend $100 on a candle from Bath and Body Works. However, Clark's Stanley Cup is excessive.
Put an end to it.
Fans find value in the link, which is why these items are selling out. They are purchasing more than simply a cup. They are purchasing a portion of Clark's narrative. And it's not just Stanley's hype. This serves as a model for upcoming endorsements. This is being keenly observed by other lifestyle businesses. Imagine what Clark will achieve with furniture, fashion, or tech partnerships if she can make water cups fashionable. Basketball is no longer the ceiling. She may take it wherever she wants. This is the reason this deal is so significant. Let's review the first phase of this crazy. The Stanley agreement for Caitlin Clark is more than just a recommendation. It demonstrates how she has transformed from a basketball star to a cultural figure. Fans who have never seen a Fever game are the target audience for her sales. Without even playing, she is causing items to go viral. Haters are rushing to explain why a cup sold out more quickly than some shirts because of her. Let's examine the significance of this Stanley agreement in more detail. Sneakers have long been considered the ultimate in athlete endorsements. The signature sneaker, the eye-catching colorways, and the limited releases are all sought for. That's how cultural impact is measured. It used to be that way, at least. That was completely reversed by Caitlin Clark. She demonstrated her charm without the need for trainers. Cups are the latest must-have thanks to her.
Consider that.
Clark Stanley Cups are now the talk of the resale market, which usually gets fixated on Jordans or Yeezys. Discussions on the Clark colorway they were able to obtain are increasingly common in forums where individuals exchange shoe sizes. This is the energy of sneaker culture channeled into drinkware. And you're right if you think that sounds absurd, yet absurd in a way that generates revenue. Clark is more than just another athlete promoting a product because she has the ability to create that type of fervor. She is changing the definition of an athlete endorsement. Sports gear is no longer the main focus. Entering lifestyle areas where her fan following already resides is the goal. Basketball sneakers are not necessary for fans to experience a sense of community. However, everyone needs a bottle of water. The data demonstrate how brilliantly Clark and Stanley came up with that solution. Now, since they always appear, let's discuss the haters once more. They make an argument along these lines. She's not winning titles, she's selling cups. As though performance and endorsements are incompatible. Yes, Clark is hurt, but she continues to make bargains. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a strength. It indicates that she has surpassed the box score. If anything, her ability to remain so relevant despite being sidelined demonstrates the strength of her brand. And let's face it, the critics would have hailed it as revolutionary if another WNBA player had signed similar contract. But all of a sudden it's just a cup, because it's Clark. The detractors are more to blame for this double standard than she is. The fact that she controls every discussion, headline, and product launch annoys them. Unfortunately, the market has made its voice heard. This agreement also demonstrates why companies can no longer overlook women's sports from a business perspective. For charitable reasons, Stanley and Clark did not collaborate. They saw dollar signs and decided to partner. With each appearance, they witnessed her sell out venues, increase TV ratings, and drive a ton of traffic online. They were aware that adding her name would increase sales. Other lifestyle companies will follow now that it has. This marks the beginning of a larger wave. Imagine this: cookware made by Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark accessories for technology and home decor. You would think Target wouldn't want a furniture line with a Clark trademark if Stanley could break sales records with cups. Do you believe that Apple wouldn't want her to appear in an ad pitching iPads to Gen Z and younger consumers? This transaction establishes the standard. Sportswear isn't the only thing Clark sells. Since she is an influencer in every field, her empire of endorsements has grown significantly. We should include this in her portfolio. Nike Wilson, check him out. Gatorade, check. Panini, check. Stanley, check.
Check now.
She is a dominant force in 5 distinct sectors: footwear, athletic gear, drinks, memorabilia, and way of life. Having 2 of those is a blessing for most athletes. Clark, who is only in her 2nd year as a professional, has 5.
Take a moment to process that.
Whether they acknowledge it or not, the WNBA also gains from this. Selling out Stanley Cups is more than just a personal triumph for Clark. It puts the league in the limelight. The terms WNBA and Indiana Fever trend together with her name whenever it does. Her brand increases, and so does the league's. Networks and sponsors continue to increase their investments as a result. They are aware that Clark popularizes women's basketball. Of course, that isn't to everyone's taste in the league. Some athletes feel left out when they see how much attention she receives. That makes sense. However, transactions such as these demonstrate why Clark is in her own lane. Favoritism isn't involved. The reason is economics. Companies put money into the person who moves the market. That's Caitlin Clark at the moment. And that won't change unless someone else starts selling mugs by the truckload. Let's now examine fan behavior. College students and suburban mothers have traditionally been Stanley's largest base. These demographics closely resemble Clark's target audience. Families that attend Fever games, students who purchase her jerseys, and mothers who followed her Iowa race. They are all members of the precise demographic that is already fixated on Stanley. This collaboration is the ideal overlap. It wasn't arbitrary. It was effective because it was targeted. It's evident from the numbers. When Clark's line debuted, traffic to Stanley's website surged. Within hours, retail partners reported shortages. Retail markets were immediately overrun with listings marked up 2 or 3 times retail, and online pre-orders sold out more quickly than anticipated. Not every collaboration results in that. That occurs when demand outpaces supply, and Caitlin Clark is the driving force behind demand. What does this signify in the long run, then? It indicates that Clark is developing a brand independent of basketball's seasonality. There is a season off for the WNBA. Endorsements don't. With Stanley, Clark's impact is seen throughout the year in classrooms, offices, gyms, and kitchens. When she gets 30 points, her fans don't stop applauding. Every single day, they sip from her cup. It's great, and it's permanent brand integration. The worst part is still to come. She's far from finished. Her distinctive sneaker will become a worldwide sensation if it launches in 2026, as anticipated. By the end of her career, this athlete could very well become a billionaire if she adds more lifestyle collaborations. Feel free to laugh, but that's the direction the trajectory is going. It is clear from deals like Stanley. Ironically, the goalposts are always being moved by criticism. She wouldn't sell out arenas to start. Then she did. She won't receive endorsements, it was then. She now possesses more than everybody else does. She was then unable to offer lifestyle goods. So, here we are. Because the haters are unable to acknowledge the reality, the goalposts will continue to move. There is no one like Clark.
Let's conclude now.
There is more to the Stanley contract than cups. It has to do with dominance. It demonstrates how Clark's impact extends well beyond basketball. It demonstrates her ability to sell goods in a variety of sectors. It demonstrates that those who criticize her have run out of justifications and that her performance is directly related to the WNBA's future. Sales and sellouts attest to the fact that this is reality, not hype. There you have it, then. After Caitlin Clark's huge deal, Stanley's sales skyrocketed. She is a cultural force that transforms commonplace items into treasures, not just an athlete. The statistics don't lie, so hate-mongers can complain all they want. What are your thoughts? Is this her most astute recommendation to date?